Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Tonight's movie, Like Father, another Netflix original, I guess, in a sense, starring Kristen Bell and I already forgot his name. I was just gonna say it's Kelsey Grammer, of course. Sorry. So the plot is Kristen Bell gets left at the altar, but her father, who she hasn't seen since she's like 5 years old, I have a couple of drinks, sorry. Since she's 5 years old, comes to her wedding. She gets left at the altar, so she decides to take her honeymoon with her father, her strange father. So, I don't know, seems emotional. Even the image that I'm seeing here on Netflix as they're cuddling and crying, seems like it's going to be a father-daughter moment. I have a daughter, so I don't know. Anyway, so who knows what it's going to be like. Hopefully we're going to get some laughs. Kelsey Grammer, well, Kristen Bell we know from just about everything, you know. And then Kelsey Grammer, for me, always reminds me of Cheers. I know he had Frasier, but Cheers is always where I remember him from. And I'm thinking to myself, I always think Cheers is great. Woody Harrelson, you know, there's a lot of good actors that came out of Cheers. Coach Ted Danzig, right? And Kelsey Grammer was in it. Norm. Anyway, I can go on. And I always thought to myself, Johnny P., friend of mine since kindergarten, I always envision him as the biggest Cheers fan. And I don't know if that's right or not. I mean, many years ago, for some reason I think that. So, I don't know. Johnny, let me know. Were you the biggest Cheers fan that I know? I'd love to hear from you. Let me know. But I'm going to get into this movie, watch it a little bit, and see where it goes. Hopefully it's a good one. I'll be back. Hey everybody. We're watching Like Father. We're checking in here at the 48-minute, 22-second mark. And we're not even halfway through. There's another 55 minutes and 13 seconds left. I don't know what else is going to happen, but as we said in the beginning, Kristen Bell is getting married, and she's a workaholic, evidently. So she's on the phone all the time. Seems like she's in some sort of marketing with chips and things like that, whatever, trying to land a big account. Right before her wedding, she's on the phone, and then she goes into her wedding and she gets caught, you know, with her phone and stuff like that, and that's why her fiance dumps her, because she's a workaholic and she's always working, whatever. And then her estranged father, who is Kelsey Grammer, is at the wedding. He sneaks in there. He had left her at 5 years old. We don't know why yet. They go out together to have a few drinks. They get real drunk. They end up going on a honeymoon together. Her idea, because they were both drunk. And that's where we are now. They're on the honeymoon, Royal Caribbean or whatever. And he's trying to connect with her, whereas she's still like bitter over the walkout of her marriage, and bitter because her father had left her at 5. You know, obviously so. And but she's also still working. She's on her phone the entire time. So with that happening, and then they bring in some extra characters. They share tables together. So there's a gay couple who's together, an elderly couple who've been married for multiple years, and another newlywed couple. And they're starting to build like a kind of, not so much a friendship, but they're adding, you know, some more storylines to the whole thing, and they're all focusing on Kelsey Grammer and Kristen Bell. They know that they're father-daughter here, but you know, they're trying to get to the bottom of why they're on the trip together, what's going on with her, what's going on with him. Meanwhile, the two of them are, well, he's trying to reconnect with her, she's not so much. And that's where we are. And interesting fact, I didn't realize this, and I apologize, Seth Rogen is in this movie. And his name's Jeff, so that's funny. But he's kind of, his wife left him, and him and Kristen Bell are kind of mingling together as well. It's more, there's not so many laugh out loud moments. It's not super boring. It's kind of an interesting plot line, considering I'm a father too. I'd love for my daughter to take me on her honeymoon, you know, and me and her go, and they don't get married, and we just hang out forever. But this is a different situation because he left her. I think that's also part of the mystery. Why did he leave at 5 years old? and you know, they seem a lot alike. What happened to her mother? Whatever. So some mystery yet to be discovered here, and see what happens. But it's okay so far. Not great, but not terrible either. I don't know. That's what I got for you. And I'll get back into it a little bit more. If anything interesting happens, I'll stop back. If not, I'll see you at the credits. Stick around. Hey everybody. We're at the credits, or we're at the end of Like Father. And I forgot to tell you at the beginning, IMDb had it at a 6.1. I'm probably going to rate it at a 6 as well. I think it's right in that 6-7 range. Not an 8. You know, can't get over that hump. I don't give any 7s anymore. It was good. It was. I think it's a good 6. It's a solid 6. Let me talk about Brett Gelman was in it, and I thought he did a pretty good job. I've seen him, you know, in the other guys. Arnie Palmer alert. Arnie Palmer alert. You know, so I liked him from that. But anyway, he plays the boss in this one, and I thought he did a pretty good job. He was marrying them when they got left at the altar, but a little bit of a different character. Not a big role, but a little role there. I enjoyed him. And Kristen Bell and Kelsey Grammer. I mean, I've always liked Kristen Bell. I thought she's a great actress. Very talented. She's got a great voice, and there's some karaoke in it. It's funny because it wasn't until they started to sing karaoke that I realized the song that she sang for Frozen. And she did it in all the different voices. I was like, oh, that's right. She can sing really well. And Kelsey Grammer. I mean, Kelsey Grammer is a phenomenal actor. And you forget that. Like, you know, I don't see him in that often. You know, in Frasier and in Cheers and stuff like that. But I mean, this guy went to Juilliard. You know, did like a lot of Shakespearean stuff. But really a phenomenal actor, and it shows in this movie, and just for that alone I thought it was entertaining. The plot is pretty much similar, except it's a father-daughter type thing. Strange relationship, they get back together, they go apart, they get back together, you know, that kind of thing. Like, you've seen movies like that. Other ones, Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Did you ever see that one? Forgetting Sarah Marshall, very similar, where the guy gets left by his girlfriend, but they have a trip planned. They go to Hawaii, and he meets a girl there in Hawaii where they connect, but then after he leaves Hawaii, they separate, but then they come back together at the end. Very similar plot lines. But this one's, you know, father-daughter, which is slightly different, and a father who has walked out on his daughter when she was like 5 years old. I don't think they did a good job of, you know, like normally it would be something like, oh, I didn't know that, like, you went off to war, and that's why you left it. You know, they didn't do a good job of that, of making it okay for him to leave and for her to forgive him. So that the forgiveness, but I guess that's the moral of the story, is giving forgiveness in this type of situation. So that's the only thing that I thought, you know, whatever. But other than that, I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Worth watching. I think a lot of people will like this film. It's something I think everybody should check out and see what it's all about. I'm looking, the reason I keep looking, Lauren Miller Rogen. So I don't know if that's Seth Rogen's wife. Sorry, I didn't research it. I just happened to look up and I see she was the director in this. As I mentioned, Seth Rogen is actually in the film, and becomes a small little love interest of Kristen Bell throughout the film. But then he moves on to another woman who's in, you know, he's singing karaoke and he waves to her, and then they show her, and I'm wondering, like, is that the director and is that his wife? I don't know. I'll have to look it up afterwards. Maybe you already know. If you do, drop me a comment. Love to hear from you. But if you have Netflix, this is definitely worth the watch. I think you will enjoy it, and you know, I mean, don't have crazy expectations, but it's nice, emotional, heartwarming story, I think, about giving forgiveness and family. Bam! Dropped that on you, didn't I? Alright, that's enough for me tonight. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub. See you next time.